Now everybody, some people were receiving a smaller stimulus check than others. Lawmakers from the House of Representatives and the Senate are pushing for President Biden to sign the Build Back Better bill before a new deadline. The lawmakers have also noted that big changes will begin to be made to the legislation. So we want to continue watching this video to make sure that you get the most up-to-date, reliable stimulus check, Social Security, SSI, and SSDI information. Representative Ro Khanna, an influential House progressive, is actually urging President Biden to restart his negotiations on a downsized version of his Build Back Better plan and get it passed as soon as possible. During an interview with Insider, Representative Khanna said, "I think what we need here is the presidential leadership." Khanna has been in touch over the past year with Joe Manchin and many other Democrats who are holdouts under the Build Back Better bill. Ro Khanna seems to be comfortable shedding other parts of legislation that the conservative Democrats of Joe Manchin may no longer support. Now progressives have spent much of last year trying to pressure Democrats like Joe Manchin to back a larger spending bill and climate bill by blockading the infrastructure bill and advancing both in tandem. But Democratic leaders opted to separate the latter measure and approve it in November, only to see Manchin pause negotiations on the House-approved Build Back Better plan a month later. The California Democrat believed that other progressives would largely agree with his views, given a wide desire among Democrats to deliver on as much of their agenda as possible. Democrats face a difficult midterm season with inflation at its highest level in decades. Ro Khanna said, "I think many of them would be open for it because they understand that it is our moment to do something." What are your thoughts on this, everybody? Do you agree with moving forward with a smaller Build Back Better package, with possibly smaller stimulus checks? Now, the White House has told reporters recently that President Biden is focused on the path forward. On following unprecedented job creation, he's delivered with an economic plan for the middle class that fights inflation for the long haul and cuts the cost of prescription, childcare, and energy, while tackling climate change. Joe Manchin has also sketched out a smaller bill that's focused on stepping up taxes on the rich, prescription negotiations, and some clean energy programs. He is also open to restart negotiation, and Democrats can advance the bill without achieving unanimous support in the 50-50 Senate. Now folks, in regards to your taxes, if your taxes seem a little different this year, you're not alone. Average refunds this year are up a whopping 10%, and for some low-income people, doing their taxes can feel like winning the lottery. Some are seeing 5-figure payments that rival their entire annual income. At the same time, the share of taxpayers getting paid at a tax time is down. For some, that's because Democrats' signature monthly child tax credit payments for the last 6 months are now cutting into the refunds. Others may be surprised to learn that they now have to pay taxes on the entirety of their unemployment benefits. Folks, what are your thoughts on this, everybody? Tell me in the comments below. So the United States public is facing an increased risk of economic problems as the crisis just continues to surge across the country. So stimulus checks for the elderly have become a necessary next step to help the American people right now. Since the start of 2022, Congress has been lobbied by the Senior Citizens League for another one-time Social Security stimulus payment of $1,400. This has been prompted by the current uncertainty in the United States following the increase in the crisis.
Social Security has a surplus in the trust fund of $2.76 trillion. A surplus of $2.76 trillion and can pay out benefits to every eligible American for the next 19 years.
The payment would essentially act as a fourth stimulus check, folks. In the 2022 COLA has increased the highest amount in 4 decades, pushing many seniors into a higher tax bracket. Therefore, the stimulus check is expected to help offset the additional cost. Over 95,000 people have signed a petition from the Senior Citizens League about this $1,400 check for Social Security beneficiaries. So pressure is definitely growing. Prices across the country are rising at an astronomical level, with the Bureau of Labor Statistics even reporting that since October 2020, consumers are paying on average 2% more across the market. Some things like food are up by 5.3%, where energy costs are even up by more than 30%. I strongly support this idea of Congress sending out more